The Ice type in Pokemon is famous for being hyper offensive with very little for defense. It's super effective against 4 types while only 4 resist it. But defensively, it only resists itself while having 4 super effective weaknesses. However, statistically across the board, the Ice type is solid, having the average of every stat in the top 10, even having the second highest average HP stat. The ROM hack Elite Redux combines the effects of hail and snow with chip damage at the end of each turn and the 50% boost to defense. Elite Redux is a difficulty ROM hack of Emerald that give Pokemon 4 abilities at once and add a bunch of new cool ones including Megas. So I wanted to see if we could beat Elite Redux on the highest difficulty using only Ice types. The only rules being a Pokemon needs to have the Ice type to be on the team, and if it gains the Ice type after Mega Evolving, it must do so on the first turn it can. With those rules in mind, let's get started. As always, we need to pick the perfect frame to start our adventure. Then we set the game to Elite mode to give the opponents the hardest teams possible and Elite level caps, which will control the evolutions and moves we unlock between each gym badge. We can pick from all the starters, but Ice is the one for us. The 3 choices are Spheal, Swinub, and Smoochum. Spheal is the only one of these 3 that you can't get immediately after this, so that's why we pick it. Plus, May will have Swampert, which is highly allergic to freeze dry. Ice types are slim pickings early on, so the only Ice types we get for now are Spheal, Swinub, Alolan Sandshrew, Smoochum, and the new Redux Piplup, which is a Fire Ice type. Freeze Dry won't be on Pokemon till later, so May is a little tougher than I thought. Luckily, Smoochum presents herself as the early MVP candidate. Beating May, let's grab 2 more Ice types, Citadel and Cubchoo. Cubchoo already has Guts and Ice Shard, so the Cub in desperate need of a tissue can actually help the team early on. We'll need all the help we can get against the first skill check of Elite Redux, being youngster Calvin. He already has a full team of 6, and all of them have 4 abilities unlocked, where we only get 2, leading with a powerful Steel type, also having a near unkillable Seal. So preparing a good team is required. So after preparing this frigid team, we jump right in. Redux Prinplup is able to immediately one-shot Tinkatink with a Fire Blast. The unkillable Seal is next, and with the Water move incoming, we go to Smoochum, who is immune because of Dry Skin, and uses Future Sight on entry thanks to her Forewarn ability. She's free to Calm Mind and eventually gets strong enough to take it out. Hooch threatens the Smooch, and there's nothing we can really do, and it gets the Moxie boost for taking out a toddler. Swinub is sacrificed for damage, that way Cubchoo can come in and Ice Shard. It's able to take Diglett down to the red, and Alolan Sandshrew gets the revenge kill. The Mouse couple can't stop a Steel-type Pokemon with only normal moves, and Shedinja is just a meme mon, so we get the victory. With the hardest trainer in the area out of the way, we can start the Ice Age. Bug Catcher Rick barely makes a dent, and youngster Alan is also frozen where he stands. With no new Ice types, we continue with what we got. After skipping Petalburg Woods, thanks to an amazing bug, we can take on the first double battle. This can be a rather annoying fight with the wrong team, but with Grass being their specialty, we have a nice advantage. Setting up Hail over their sunny day puts them at a major disadvantage. They actually still put up a really good fight. I swear they just started reading my inputs because they were ruining all of my predictions. Or maybe I'm just bad, I don't know. Once Prinplup comes out, we hit a triple protect with Cubchoo and we skate by. The first gym leader in the run happens to be a rock type specialist, which spells trouble for our Ice types. But before we deal with all that nonsense, we hit the Ice Mono Run Gold Mine. North of Rustboro is an ice-covered cave with a ton of new Ice types for us to play with. Cryogonal is a great early game pickup with its high base stat total of 515. And fun fact, it has the second highest special defense, 135, of any Ice type in the game. It also has one of the best abilities in the game, which will be used throughout this entire playthrough. North Wind lets us set up Aurora Veil on entry, which can be extended for 5 turns if it holds the Light Clay. Extremely helpful for bulking up the entire team. Snover is part Grass type and should be a great addition to the team for the first gym. What's becoming almost a tradition at this point, the very first trainer we face in here takes us down and humbles the team. The very first loss of the run, but losses always teach us valuable lessons. Like we learned that we should just use Cubchoo to beat the brakes off the lead nose pass to set the tone. With Northwind and the Hail up, Snover is really tanky. Plus with the Whiteout ability giving it a 50% attack boost, it's able to sweep. Mini Obama Snow is the new leader of this gym. I accidentally let a Dwebble get too fast and too furious with boost though, and we lose our second fight. All Mini Obama Snow had to do was hit a Bullet Seed for 5 times instead of 4, which we do the second time, and now we can face Roxanne. The Rock type expert actually only has 4 rock types we have to worry about. The two non-rock types, Bombardier and Whiscash, are really weak to ice and grass respectively, so they shouldn't be too bad. The fire rock type Macargo is the ultimate ice melter, so we'll have to be very careful against him. First, we have to deal with the lead Onyx. Setting up Creeping Thorns, which is the grass type version of Stealth Rocks, is one of the most valuable things we can do, so immediately that's what we do with Snover. All it needs to do now is hit 5 Bullet Seeds.
And we Bullet Seed and get super lucky and get a 5-hit kill. Please, 2 more times, please. 1 more, please. Dude! You're a disappointment. You'll always be a disappointment.
With Snover down, Cryogonal can get us the Aurora Veil up and finish off the Onyx. Tortuga is next and loses half its health with Creeping Thorns stuck in its shell. A battle of bulk ensues between Alolan Sandshrew and the Turtle. A worthy opponent, but goes down eventually. Sandshrew was also able to win the 1v1 versus Knackly Stackly since we were at +6 defense. Can't say the same against Macargo, who uses Burn Up to take us out. However, that's the only time it can use this fire move, and it's now a pure rock type. Smoochum doesn't fear this snail, but probably should because she also goes down. Luckily, her Future Sight activates after she's gone and can take it out as well. Bombardier is fast, especially after it activates Unburden, but Redux Piplup takes it out before it has a chance. The thorns really hurt Whiscash, and Cubchoo wipes his nose with the fish, giving us the victory and our first gym badge. Meaning the level cap now raises to 23 and gives us plenty of new moves, Pokemon, and most importantly, abilities, as our second innates are unlocked, including some really good ones like Alolan Ninetales with its Snow Warning setting up Hail for us on entry, Frostlass with Snow Cloak boosting evasion, and Whiteout boosting its power in the Hail. We don't make our full team yet, but we do have pieces for a decent little Hail team. The first Bug Trainer on Route 116 usually gives us trouble, but is beaten with ease on the first try. The rest of the trainers here are just as easy, bringing us to the Team Aqua Grunt in Rust Turf Tunnel, holding Pico hostage. The fog in here is instantly replaced with Hail and the team gets to work. Dracoloak goes down thanks to Ninetales, and Muck, who is really tanky for this early in the game, goes down with a little teamwork. Frostlass is just so good in the Hail. Somehow the Masquerain is faster even with Choice Scarf, but no flinches and Frostlass is able to close the rest of the fight. The optional fight against our rival May is accidentally triggered, but I figured it would be a good test for our team. Her team isn't that special but still has strong Pokemon like Swellow and Serena. We still beat her for the first time in a mono run. We're now on our way to Dewford Town. The second gym is here, but we need to defeat the champion of the region first. Steven Stone usually just greets us, but in this game, he wants to beat us. And his team is no joke. A Steel and Rock specialist is very bad for our ice types. His mythical Pokemon Genesect can destroy most of the team with a Steel Beam, and Aerodactyl can be really tough to deal with. His ace, Metagross, will prey on any weak Pokemon with its Bullet Punch. Still, I feel pretty confident with what we've seen from this team so far. Ninetales' lead sets up Hail for us and is able to beat Credilli one-on-one. Genesect is next, and Hidden Power Fire is also enough to beat it, surprisingly able to outspeed. Then, his bullet-punching supercomputer comes out and does exactly what I feared. He takes out 3 of my Pokemon before I realize how dumb I am because I forgot we had a speedy ghost that could take it out. We lose, but keep this loss in mind for later. The second try goes much smoother. Starts off the exact same, but this time I remember that Frostlass is a ghost. Aerodactyl also falls to a blizzard before Frost goes down. Hidden Power Grass erases Relicanth, and Jinx removes Lairon. One of the easiest Steven Stone battles I've had in some time. A good sign for things to come. A fighting gym is next though, so we save Brawly from standing in a line that will never move and begin beating trainers in his gym. Despite being weak to fighting, nobody in this gym even takes out more than 2 of our Pokemon, so it's Brawly time. The fighting expert doesn't lead with a fighting type, but instead a ghost rock type Noivern that Radical Red fans might be familiar with. It's very fast, so we'll need a good lead for it. However, his Hatterene sets up Trick Room on entry with its Twisted Dimensions ability, so our fast Pokemon are also at a disadvantage. The rest of his team is just really strong and has the advantage, so we gotta make some great plays. Ninetales is able to live the first attack from Noivern and deal decent damage, but switching to Cryogonal, who sets up Aurora Veil for us on entry, is bulky enough to finish the job. Electivire, who's now electric fighting, threatens with a close combat, which Jinx is able to live and immediately lets me down as the 1 in 16 chance to not get the kill with Psychic happens, losing her the 1v1. Frost is able to finish it and avoid a devastating paralysis. Hatterene and Trick Room are here, and Frost is able to live a mystical fire and freezes the Hatterene, cutting its special attack in half. Cryo comes back to give us Aurora Veil before going down. Sandslash gets a massive 1v1 victory over Redux Bisharp because of it. Hitmonchan, with priority on all punching moves, gets super lucky as Hail ends its first turn out. Ninetales lives on 2 HP and is able to beat Hitmonchan with Moonblast. The Sudowoodo evolution, Dual Lumber, is last, but is too slow for our Ghost, and we win our second gym badge on the first try. We unlock even more evolutions, and most importantly, our final innate ability. It's time to make a proper team now and continue this winning streak we started. Starting with possibly the best ice type in the game, Dugong. Being a favorite of the game's creator, Darky, it has amazing tools. The choice ability Arctic Fur will weaken all moves by 35%, on top of the innate North Wind, which will add Aurora Veil on top. With a slow flip turn, Dugong can help out its teammates and come back later to set it up again. Redux Empoleon is a fast, special attacking fire ice type. With a choice scarf and great moves like Fire Blast and Freeze Dry, it can remove difficult Pokemon for us. The little Cubchoo has evolved into an absolute unit, Beartick. We need a physical attacker, and with Guts and Quick Feet, a Flame Orb gives it a 50% boost to its attack and to its speed. Facade goes crazy, especially with Tough Claws on top. Redux Beedrill is incredibly fast with a base speed of 135. In Hail, it gets a 50% attack boost from Whiteout, and with Skill Link, we can run Icicle Sphere with its guaranteed 125 base power and ability to beat Focus Sashed Pokemon. Frost remains the same, but finally gets Freeze Dry and the innate Slush Rush. With a Choice Scarf, it's one of the fastest Pokemon ever in the Hail and will be a great tool to have. Lastly, Vanillux, who is one of the best Pokemon we'll ever use. It's our Hail setter and will give the team 12 turns of Hail with the Icy Rock. With it having Slush Rush and Multi-Headed, letting its moves hit 2 times, it's one of the best offensive Pokemon on our team. With one of the best early game teams ever assembled, we make our way to the museum where Team Aqua is waiting to jump us in a 3v1 battle. We have to take them on back to back to back, ending with Archie and no healing in between. Little do they know we're packing Freeze Dry over here. Vanillux is able to take out Gloom in its debut. Low Kicks, the first turn demon, is able to do sizable damage to our Dugong on switch-in, but a slow flip turn lets Empoleon finish the job. The next Grunt leads with Poliwrath and is unable to punch Frost before going down, and the Swalot is frozen solid. The final fight versus Archie is a real challenge with our weakened team. Vanillux low rolls on the Crobat, but is still able to get the knockout. However, I did forget about the Steel Sligo in the back, and I realize we have few answers for it. Beartick, even with its boosts, can't get the kill, but does bring it down low enough for Frost to come in. She's set up nicely and gets Redux Gabite taken out as well. Sharpedo goes down to a Freeze Dry, but we're choice locked, so we get Frost back in before it gets too fast with Speed Boost, and it goes down in one shot. Dhelmise versus Redux Empoleon ends the fight as Fire Blast connects, and with our guaranteed burn, it goes down. Archie and Team Aqua are sent away, for now. May is waiting on the next route, and just like before, her team has no chance against us. 5 of her Pokemon are weak to Ice and or Freeze Dry, so you can probably imagine how difficult it would be to lose to her. Perhaps Wally is our true rival. He stands in the way of our path to the 3rd gym, so we'll need to crush him as well. Right away his Obstagoon is a problem, but Vanillux handles him. Armarouge melts us though. Beartick with its powered up Facade lasers through, and after Empoleon melts Redux King Gambit and Roserade, he's sent away just like the rest. It's time for the Electric Gym. But not before we hit the casino.
I want to walk away. I don't want to do this. I changed my mind. Well, it forced me to do it. I tried to leave, it wouldn't let me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Yes! 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 Oh my god. No way. Yo, I'm him! Look at all the money! Keep playing. Nah, I won. What's the plan? There is no plan. We're not going to fight Watson. We're staying here all day.
Clearly luck is on our side. The trainers in the gym are no match for the power of this team. Even the double battle, which is usually a tough matchup, is defeated on the first try, no problems. Watson is all that's left. Things with the gym leaders ramp up as he's the first to have a legendary in Tapu Koko and a Mega Evolution with Mega Rapidash. Iron Hands is also very dangerous, especially if Electric Terrain is still up from Tapu Koko. Redux Beedrill is the perfect lead as it's not only faster than the lead Guardian, but has Stab Poison Fang to remove it in one turn. Followed up immediately by the only fire type and only Mega Evolution on the team. We need to take care of it before it gets too much speed from Speed Boost, so we have to sacrifice Vanillux to get the Hail up, letting our super speedy Frostlass come in while it's still slow enough to get a one-shot from Hidden Power Ground. Clauncher's new evolution comes out next and does absolutely nothing to our Dugong. A slow pivot flip turn brings it down to half and gets our Empoleon, who misses the first Fire Blast, but removes the Crawfish with the second one. Iron Hands is way too bulky to be one-shot, but hitting it with a Fire Blast and getting the burn basically makes it useless. Frost can get a 2-hit KO and survives because we still have Aurora Veil up. Redux X-Cloud pivots away to a Alolan Raichu who is very deadly with Electro Surge and Surge Surfer. But this team, as shown in the casino, is just too lucky. Focus Miss does what it does best and lets Beedrill beat it 1v1. Redux X-Cloud refuses to go down without a fight, and with Hail ending, things get scary. Beartic is just barely able to hold on and gets us the victory. The level cap is raised to 45 and even more great Pokemon are unlocked. No changes are made to the team yet though, as there's really no need to fix something that isn't broken, and the team continues to roll through the next few routes. Even Trainer Wilton, who has a really solid team of 6, is no different than any other trainer we run into. In no time, we make it to Meteor Falls, where we run into Team Magma for the very first time. And it's our first mixed battle of the run, with May needing our help. Admin Courtney and this random grunt mostly rely on Sun being up to be effective, but with Hail, they can't, and are frozen out pretty quickly. This is only the beginning of Team Magma's shenanigans, as we have to stop the rest of them on Mount Chimney. Their teams are mostly composed of fire and ground types, so as long as we're careful, they're really not that bad. The other Team Magma admin, Tabitha, is just as easy as the grunts, so bring on the boss man. Maxie, the head of Team Magma, has some insanely fast Pokemon like Lycanroc and Crobat. He also has 2 really strong dragons and 2 Mega Evolutions. We don't even get one yet. Luckily he leads with a Dragon-type Niaganadel who can't handle our double scoop of ice cream. Camerupt removes our Hail, but having a water type is really helpful for situations like this. After erasing the sun and flip turning back to the Sunday, we can take it out. Hydreigon is just barely faster since the Niaganadel sets up sticky webs, but we live a Fire Blast and can one-shot the demon. Lycanroc is speedy, but the quick feet of Beartic proved to be too much. Too much for the Crobat as well. Mega Venusaur X is tanky, but without thick fat like the Y Mega, it also goes down. The heat is still on as the next gym is fire type and right down this mountain. This is now the 3rd gym that has a type advantage over us. There's a lot of tough trainers in here with full teams of 6, so our win streak is definitely in danger. At least, I thought it was. But not even the fire types here can melt this team. The double battle with 3 different Sunfloras with Drought is a breeze to get through. We do make a big change to the team though, swapping out Redux Beedrill for Mamoswine, and Mamoswine is just disgusting. Slush Rush giving it a 50% speed boost in the Hail, plus Whiteout giving it a 50% attack boost in the Hail, plus Growing Tooth giving a +1 in attack each time it uses a biting move. It's an incredible sweeper. Not to mention that thick fat makes it no longer weak to fire. So in record time, we make it to Flannery. No question, she has a great team. Tons of priority with 2 extreme speed Pokemon and a bulky Paradox form in Walking Wake. And 2 Megas. A tough trainer under normal circumstances, but with all the ice type Pokemon, it's going to be really interesting. Still, I'd argue there's nothing you can do that's more important in this fight than setting up Stealth Rocks turn 1. So we lead with one of the very few ice types that even learn it, Aurorus. Not only that, it can set up Hail on entry, erasing the Drought. We only had it here for the rocks, but it actually beats Walking Wake with Freeze Dry and Priority Gem Missile. Entei comes out next, and the Stealth Rocks remove its Flaming Soul ability, which gave its fire moves +1 priority at full health, allowing for Gem Missile to go first and bring it down below half. Surprisingly, Aurorus lives a Sacred Fire and beats Entei as well. With the rocks, plus another Gem Missile, we're able to take Ceruledge down to half. 2.5 Pokemon is way more than I was expecting out of Aurorus. Frostlash finishes the job. Halfway there, but it's really far from over. Redux Arcanine is a huge threat with extreme speed, so we get out Dugong to set up Aurora Veil with Northwind, sacrificing its life in the process. Vanillux cools its flames. The last Sunsetter on her team, Mega Charizard, is finally out, and we have to switch in Beartic as another sacrifice, letting Vanillux come back in, setting up Hail. A low roll on Blizzard lets Charizard live and melt our ice cream. Mamoswine the Machine finishes it off with Jagged Fangs, giving it an attack boost. The new Mega Wigglytuff stands no chance as nothing is stopping Mamoswine at this point. And Flannery has been defeated. The 4th gym badge is claimed, but the 5th badge is right around the corner. Before we deal with that though, we finally unlock Mega Evolution. There are plenty of great Ice-type Megas to try out, but 2 of the very best aren't available till later. So we go with Mega, Redux, and Polion for now. It has amazing special attack sitting at 141, as well as great speed at 131. Its signature ability Frostburn will trigger a 40 base power Ice Beam after every fire move it uses. And with Parental Bond as an innate ability, both of its attacks will hit twice. That's 4 hits in total, so Focus Sashes mean nothing. With this beast of a Pokemon, the trainers in our dad's gym are nothing but a waste of our time. Our dad's team is not even that scary in the slightest. Sure, he gets 3 Megas, Kangaskhan, Bayonet, and Ursaluna, but lacks Pokemon that really threaten our team. Still, if you don't prepare the right team, he can easily surprise you. If you're ready for his lead Mega Kangaskhan, it makes life so much easier, and the Polar Bear with Guts Quick Feet is able to get the one-shot after a Protect. Choice Scarf Exploit outspeeds, and with all 4 moves being Boom Burst, we need to bulk up. Dugong is the right Pokemon to tank, not even going down to half. With a slow pivot flip turn, Vanillux can come in and safely set Hail. Slush Rush allows us to outspeed and finish it off with a Blizzard. Bewarden, Redux Beware's evolution, comes out and threatens with no guard Dynamic Punch. The Assault Vest allows it to live as we eat the Dynamic Punch. Confusion in this game doesn't stop turns, but instead adds recoil to all of a Pokemon's moves, so there's no risk in staying in to take him out. A Ground-type Mega Ursaluna is next, so I know he's getting desperate. A high roll on Blizzard makes it hibernate forever before it moves. The last Mega is here and finally puts an end to Vanillux Wrath. We have too many good Pokemon though, and Frostlass is more than enough to take out both of his remaining Pokemon. The 5th gym badge is secured, and this Ice team continues to go unchallenged. It seems like no matter what we do, the team is solid, so we decided to start trying out different Ice Megas. Mega Redux Beedrill is one of the fan favorites, and with 150 attack, 175 in speed, and Skill Link, it's a dangerous Pokemon to have around. After it goes down to a team of flying type birds though, I kick it off the team. The Mega slot is reserved for the very best, and it didn't make the cut. With another Steven Stone battle coming up though, it's probably best to have our Ice Fire type Mega Empoleon back. He's the last trainer to hand us an L, so this is revenge. I forget that his lead Cleavor has a Cellurock, so Empoleon has to be switched out. After Aurora Veil and Hail go up, Mamo the Machine begins tearing his team apart. Cleavor, Magearna, and Metagross all fall. Even Mega Aggron isn't bulky enough. Iron Valiant finally puts a stop to it, but Frost has his back for the revenge kill. Dracovish really doesn't like Freeze Dry, and just like that, one of our biggest ops is defeated. Next time will be for the championship. We continue to try out new Megas like Mega Weavile. It's fine. Has high speed but didn't impress us. Then we try out Mega Redux Flygon, who's an Ice, Bug, and Dragon type, and it's actually very good. It has great attack and speed, and has Snow Warning to set Hail for the rest of the team, and Slush Rush for extra speed. It's actually really fun to use and gets us through the weather center pretty quickly. Team Aqua is trying to take over, but with lots of weaknesses to Freeze Dry, we have a fun time. May catches us outside, but once again, 5 of her Pokemon lose to Freeze Dry, so we destroy her. And now it's time for a little side quest to get one of the best Ice Megas in the entire game, Lapras. Lapras spawn in the wild, but only in Shoal Cave, so we need to get the gift one in Fortree City. We must win 2 tough battles first. Lucy, one of the Frontier Brains, is in Lava Ridge Town and will try to stop you from bathing with the grandmas in the hot tub. Her team isn't too bad and mostly serpent themed. Other than her Shuckle, who is way too tanky, they go down pretty easily. With Sheer Cold on some of our Pokemon now, which acts like Freeze Dry instead of an Oko move, most of the team goes down without an issue. Now, I didn't actually know there was a second battle, but it turns out the old man giving away the Lapras was actually the Frontier Brain Spencer. Alright, sir. Give me... Whoa, he's a trainer. Well, I'm ready for the smoke, old timer. He leads Crobat, which doesn't stand a chance versus Ice Pokemon. Slacking locks itself into a fighting move, so Frost gets a free turn and takes out a problematic Arcanine. He goes with the prize we're fighting for, Lapras, and eventually switches out, getting Slaking killed. The Lapras comes back again and is just so tanky, but eventually goes down. Mega Venusaur with Thick Fat is forced to switch after lowering its special attack enough, but gets its ticket punched soon enough. Suicune with a Rest, Calm Mind, Sleep Talk set starts to set up, and we might be screwed. An absolutely lucky sheer cold crit saves us from the loss, and we're able to get Lapras. A shiny one at that. This amazing team just got a top tier upgrade. Mega Lapras Y is just ridiculous. The base form sets Hail on entry, boosting its defense by 50%. Then, the Mega form has Ice Scales to cut special damage in half, as well as Shell Armor reducing damage by 20% and removing the possibility of crits. With 130 in HP, 110 in defense, and 125 in special defense, it's basically unkillable. The next gym is Flying type, so with an advantage, it might be too easy. So for the first time in the run, we fight the gym leader with full gym skills on. Gym skills are special buffs the gym leader get for each trainer you don't defeat, like Pokemon instantly getting attack boost on entry, or there are nerfs to your team, like the entire party being nerfed from the start, or moves having their PP removed, obviously making fights more difficult. But this team is just so good we should be able to handle it anyway. Her team isn't very difficult to begin with. Having only one Mega is really nice, and the legendary she brings aren't exactly threatening. But right away, the gym skills give us problems. Her leads increase both defenses by 80%, while our items are disabled for 4 turns, and the entire party is hit with Frostbite, cutting special attack power in half. Fearow hits like a truck, and with Tailwind up for them, someone has to go down. RIP Polarctic. This is the final turn of Tailwind, so Dugong attempts to take out Fearow with an Ice Shard, but with it just barely hanging on, we go down to Sky Attack. A major loss there. Frost is still incredibly fast, so it can come out next and get some good damage in while Vanillux removes Galarian Zapdos. Moltres makes things even worse with Drought though. So we go to Lapras to set Hail back up as Tornadus goes down. Frost even lives a Heat Wave. Next comes out Mega Aerodactyl. It lives a Shadow Ball and misses Head Smash, allowing a Water-type Boom Burst from Lapras to hit everyone on the field. However, the Frost Burn saves them from being knocked out. Vanillux is faster than the Mega, so after taking it out, a Boom Burst finishes off the Moltres. A 2v1 versus the support Pokemon Velozel guarantees our victory. The win streak continues and we earn the 6th gym badge. The hardest fights are yet to come. The gym challenges pause for a bit as the evil teams start to ramp up. Team Aqua is at Mount Pyre causing problems. We actually have a really close call against Admin Matt, but get lucky against this Kilowattrel. Then we head to Mount Chimney where Team Magma is taking over. They have a lot of strong weather teams, but too many ground types to stop us. Maxie is the only difficult fight here. The main problem here is Primal Groudon, who prevents us from setting up Hail and will one-shot any Pokemon we have with V-Create. So we need that gone ASAP. Lead Niaganadel is still no issue for us, and Mega Camerupt is a non-threat once we shut off the sun. But there really isn't anything we can do with Groudon. We let it V-Create Polarctic as he's the most useless and its defenses drop. Frost still can't get the kill, but with it also going down, Groudon has no defense left. Mamoswine gets an easy revenge kill. After Groudon goes down, there's nothing left that can stop our team. One evil base down, one more to go. Team Aqua's hideout is just as easy. And this time, we're ready for Matt, and he goes down with ease. Now that all the story BS is done, we can get back to the main quest of collecting badges. So after finally surfing our way to Moss Deep City, we enter the Psychic type gym. But before we do that, we travel to the lowest part of Shoal Cave and get the legendary Articuno. Of course, soft resetting for the Aura Farming Shiny. Heading into the gym, we're even better. Every single fight in here is a double battle, and if your team doesn't synergize well, they'll get cooked. Well, this team has absolutely no issues with that, and we tear through them in record time. The last double battle is the gym leaders Tate and Liza. Easily one of the hardest to prepare for fights in the entire game because it's not only a double battle, but has permanent Trick Room and Inverse Room. So slower Pokemon go first and the type chart is flipped. However, Ice only resists itself normally, so it's actually an amazing type for this gym. After creating a new team built for Trick Room, we can take them on. We lead with our Mega Lapras and Baryon. the evolution of Redux Dugong. With its ability Ice Cold Hunter, Ice moves hit twice in the hail, and Sheer Cold is able to do great damage against Tapu Lele. Blizzard from Lapras is able to finish her off. Calyrex Ice Rider comes out and is by far the biggest threat. Baryong does not care though, as a Sheer Cold crit is able to take it out in a single turn. Reuniclus is just helpless. Mega Slowbro is a physical tank, but guess what? Baryong one-shots that as well with Sheer Cold. Its power is just ridiculous. Mega Slowking is much bulkier on the special side and is extremely slow. So it moves first, but instead of putting Baryong to sleep, it goes for the much less threatening Lapras. Baryong takes it out the very next turn. With just the support Pokemon Oranguru left and Reuniclus, there's no chance for them. Without losing one Pokemon, and only even one going below half health, we beat Tate and Liza and claim the 7th gym badge. Ice is just too good for this fight. We can finally unlock another S tier Ice Mega, but to get it, we have to fight a Totem Pokemon. They're really strong, wild Mega Pokemon with 252 EVs in every stat and must be defeated to get their Mega Stone. A simple turn 1 Perish Song does the trick though, and now we can use the power of Mega Dugong for ourselves. It's an unkillable monster with solid defenses, the base form setting up Aurora Veil, and the ability Arctic Fur reducing all damage. Plus, it gets recovery with Slack Off and ways to build up its defenses with Stockpile. We will use this Mega interchangeably with Mega Lapras. Well, time for more story, and this time we're finishing it. Team Magma is making their final push at the Space Center and haven't switched up their strategies. A 1v3 battle versus the Grunt is no harder than a regular battle. Maxie and his problematic Primal Groudon are back, but we team up with Steven Stone in a mixed battle. We let him do all the work. But with the most misses I've ever seen in one fight, it ends up being a lot closer than it should have been. Still, Maxie and Team Magma get crushed for the final time. All that's left to do is travel under the sea and freeze Team Aqua for good. Archie is ready for the final showdown, and just like Maxie, has one of the weather trio to block our weather. Primal Kyogre is an obvious problem, but not letting Raikou take out too many Pokemon is also a challenge. So we lead with the Sunday to remove its drizzle. Vanillix gets a clutch freeze and takes it out before it even gets to move. Iron Moth with its fire type melts our ice cream, but Mamoswine loves its 4x weakness to ground. And we finally see the Kyogre. Since Mamoswine has a Focus Sash, it gets a good biting move off, plus an Ice Shard before going down. The damage is done, and Frostlass gets the revenge kill. Speed boosting Sharpedo is an issue, and I forget that when it Mega Evolves, it gets 50% faster, and we lose Frostlass. Mega Dugong is super unlucky as Sharpedo gets back-to-back crits. It's just so bulky though, it's able to live, recover, and take it out. No flinches versus the Mega Redux Garchomp allows our Mega to secure a victory. A tougher fight than I was planning for, but nothing we couldn't handle. With the water gym ahead, hopefully it's more of the same. Most of the trainers in this gym either fight you in a 1v3 or just one of them plus a double battle after. The latter is much easier. With them out of the way, we can prepare for the final gym badge, which is very, very difficult. So we pick up 2 of the 5 electric ice types in existence. Pikachu Bellform and Arctozolt. Pikachu with the Light Ball doubling its attack power is just so good. Volt Tackle can one-shot most Pokemon in the fight. Priority Spark and Fake Out are also very helpful. Arctozolt gets Slush Rush and Stab Bolt Beak, which is 140 base power if it moves first, so we need it in the hail. Planning for this gym is essential because it's not just a double battle, but a 6v12 fight. You're taking on Wallace and Juan, who have 2 parts to their fight. The first fight having Pokemon like Manaphy, Mega Urshifu, and Kyossi. Difficult on its own, but then without healing, you have to take on the other team, which is much better. Primal Kyogre, Mega Swampert, Volcanion, and Golisopod. It's difficult for any team, but we spend a lot of time preparing and go for it. We lead with Mega Lapras and Dugong. A Fake Out on the Redux Reuniclus stops its priority fire moves, and a Sheer Cold from Lapras one-shots the Politoed. It set up the rain for them, but a slower Lapras made sure we get Hail Up. Unfortunately, Manaphy comes out and erases it. Keeping the Hail Up is important, so we bring in Ninetales for Dugong, setting it up again. Sheer Cold with 100% accuracy takes out Manaphy with minimum damage done to Ninetales. Mega Kingdra with Multiscale is a threat to our Dragon-type Lapras, but a Sheer Cold is still able to get the knockout. Ninetales hangs on from the assault from Reuniclus. Reuniclus is the last on the field, and with the threat still in the back, we need to get Arctozolt in cleanly. So we Boom Burst to take out Reuniclus and our own Ninetales. Kaiosea is next and has Lightning Rod, so we protect our frozen bird and once again one-shot with Sheer Cold. Here's where things go very wrong. Mega Urshifu is out now and is very fast. However, Arctozolt is supposed to be able to outspeed it and take it out with Bolt Beak ability.
Oh my god, we never gave it the right ability. We never gave it the right ability!
I forgot to change its ability to Slush Rush, making it way worse than it should be. Mega Urshifu strikes first and takes out our best Pokemon, Mega Lapras. We can take it down, but it's not looking good for us in the second fight. Dugong and Vanillux are our leads now against a Primal Kyogre and a Mega Redux Garchomp. We Flash Freeze Kyogre to slow down its power, but Garchomp is too powerful, and within no time, Vanillux is cooked. Arctozolt has priority on Spark, but it's just not enough power. Dugong getting paralyzed by Thunder seals its fate as well as ours. We make a really good effort taking them down to the final two Pokemon as Pikachu's Volt Tackle could one-shot Volcanion. But Golisopod with Stab First Impression removes our only hope, and we lose for the first time since Steven Stone before the second gym. All because I forgot to change the ability. Well, we immediately go back in, and this time we have Slush Rush. Things play out pretty much the exact same, except this time when we get to Mega Urshifu, Arctozolt is able to outspeed it and one-shot with Bolt Beak, saving Lapras for the next fight. Once again, we Flash Freeze Kyogre right away, while Garchomp focuses on Lapras. A flinch prevents us from doing damage. The next turn, we get a Shocking Jab and a Thunderbolt, removing Mega Garchomp, while Lapras holds on after a double attack. They send out a Kilowattrel whose Electro Ball spells the end for Dugong, so we switch to Arctozolt to tank, while Lapras misses a Sheer Cold. Kilowattrel has a Sash, so we can't afford to miss Sheer Cold anymore. Instead, we go for a rain-boosted Boom Burst and protect Zolt so it doesn't go down, doing great damage to Kyogre and bringing Kilowattrel down to Sash. We Boom Burst again, but not before Zolt uses Priority Spark on Kyogre. It's able to take both of them out at the same time. Finally, we can set up Hail with Vanillux. Double Protects keeps us safe from a dangerous first impression. Since Volcanion has no one to switch with, we use Drain Brain to lower its special attack, while Sheer Cold plus Hail takes out Golisopod. Bringing out Pikachu allows us to fake out the Mega Swampert and instantly remove it with Sheer Cold. All that's left is Volcanion, who's no match for Pikachu's Volt Tackle, even when burned. The 8th gym badge has been secured. All that's left to do is get through Victory Road and challenge the Elite Four. Victory Road is a long stretch of powerful trainers, but we have one of the best teams ever made. Wally goes down with ease, along with any other trainer in our path. Until we run into an electric terrain team double battle filled with some of the strongest future Paradox forms in the game, handing us the 5th loss of the run. Adding the Jinx evolution Sopranice with its Psychic Surge ability makes it much easier the second time though, bringing us to the final fight of the cave against Calvin, the very first trainer we saw on this journey. He is a Kecleon, which is an unattainable Pokemon who has some of the best abilities in the game, making it unkillable to most Pokemon. Luckily, a Perish Trap with Whirlpool is all it takes to beat him. Now, it's time for the Elite Four. The final 5 battles await. We add 2 new additions to the team before entering. Iron Bundle, which we picked up in Victory Road, is an unbelievable special attacker. With its momentum ability, all non-contact moves use its 136 speed stat for damage calcs, so we can just invest all of our EVs into speed and bulk and still have great power. Then we add Redux Dugong. It's a very fast physical attacker with an Ice Dragon typing. It can get a speed boost in the Hail and has its ice moves hit twice, so it's going to be very valuable to have. With no more prep left, we head into the Elite Four. First is Sydney, who's a Dark type master. He has some very strong Pokemon like Yveltal and Mega Redux Mawile, but he's nothing we haven't dealt with before. We lead with Iron Bundle as it's also a Hail setter versus his Redux Alakazam. It has an ability that uses Scratch on entry, but that triggers Iron Bundle's Cold Rebound ability, which lets it use Icy Wind after contact, which ends up killing Alakazam. We just took out a Mega Pokemon on turn 0. Chi-Yu looks for revenge but is outsped and killed with a Surf. Yveltal pops in and sets Tailwind, but is still somehow slower and dies to a Sheer Cold. In just 2 turns, Iron Bundle has taken out 3 Pokemon. Darkrai finally puts an end to this with its blazing speed, so we switch to Articuno and try to set up Tailwind with Bleak Wind Storm, but it's too strong. Redux Dugong is fast enough with a Hail to beat it though, and gets nice damage on King Gambit before going down. Throwing up a layup for Mamoswine to get a revenge kill, get the +1 in attack, and sweep the rest of the team. 1 down, 4 to go. The Ghostmaster Phoebe is next and looks to stop our Hail with a Fog Setting Origin Giratina and a ton of powerful ghosts. With Marshadow using Spectral Thief on entry, setting up is dangerous, and if her contrary Mega Redux Houndoom gets rolling, then nothing can stop its power. So we lead with our tankiest Pokemon, Mega Dugong. Using Hail, turn 1 removes its fog, which makes Ghost bulkier and doubles Ominous Wind's power. Spamming Icicle Impact, which gives Mega Dugong a +1 in attack after each use, lets us get the 1v1 win versus Giratina. Mega Redux Houndoom looks to end things early, but after the attack boost, we're able to one-shot it. Shadow Shield Dawnwing's Necrozma is actually slower than Mega Dugong, allowing us one last hit before going down. With Hail still up, our Frostlass is still the fastest thing imaginable, so we lock into Shadow Ball and beat the Light Stealing Demon. Shadow Ball also takes out the Mega Gyarados before it can blink. Same goes for the Pheromosa, and on the final turn of Hail, Marshadow also receives a Shadow Ball to the face. Hanging on by its sash, all we have to do is set up the Hail, and it's over. 2 down, 3 to go. Glacia's up, and she's the Master of Ice, a title I desperately want. To be the best, you gotta beat the best, and she has an amazing ice team of her own, having both of the Ice-type Mega Evolution GOATs, Mega Lapras and Dugong, as well as the best ice legendaries around, Kyurem White, Xianpao, and Articuno. It's time to show her what a real mono ice team looks like. The battle starts off with the 1A and 1B of Ice-type Megas, 2 immovable objects face to face. Only one way to deal with this, Perish Trap. So the song is set, and we trap it in with Whirlpool. With no way for her to escape, we switch to Redux Dugong as the final turn of Perish ends the Mega Lapras. She sends out her Ice Dragon as retaliation, but it's slower than us and is taken out instantly by a Dragon Jab. With Redux Dugong basically dead, we get a nice bit of damage on Articuno before going down. Time for an Articuno versus Articuno mirror match. Using Bleak Wind Storm, we're able to get Tailwind set up, and her Articuno misses. Sheer Cold finishes the job. Xianpao is very powerful and very few of our Pokemon want to take a hit from it. So a quick Bleak Wind Storm is all we can manage before going down. Iron Bundle is more than fast enough to get the revenge kill. She sends out her tanky Mega Dugong, and after a little back and forth, we manage to bring it down to low health. Mamoswine still somehow doesn't get the one shot, and they trade after we go down to burn. With only Mega Redux Beedrill left, we can easily win a 1v1 with Frostlass, especially with great Snowcloak RNG. There's only one Ice Master here. 3 down, 2 to go. Drake, the Dragon-type Master, is not as straightforward as you might think. Sure, dragons are weak to ice, but he has 2 very powerful Dragon Steel types, a Dragon Fighting type, and an Ice Dragon type. Not to mention the average base stat total of his team is 695, so even with ice types, it's gonna be hard. His lead, Mega Dialga, has to be dealt with quickly and before it can set up Stealth Rocks. So the only way to do this is to send out a weak Frostlass and trade with Destiny Bond. We go to Iron Bundle and set up Hail, but Drake answers with Baryon. With its multi-scale ability, we barely make a dent, and since its ice moves hit twice in the Hail, Iron Bundle goes down immediately. Mamoswine is a beast in the Hail, so if we can get it going, it can do great damage to the team. The machine is able to get a +1 in attack from Jagged Fangs. Sheer Cold brings it down to the red, which is perfect as it activates its Salac Berry, giving it a +1 in speed. After another Jagged Fangs and another attack boost, the machine is ready to roll. Haxorus erases an attack boost with Intimidate, but with its Mega adding Steel type, it still goes down to a single bite. Drake then sends out Koraidon, setting up the Sun, removing Mamoswine's powerful abilities. Well, giving it the Salac Berry was actually for this, as it's still faster even without Hail and is able to one-shot. He finally sends out one of his 2 extreme speed Pokemon, which is all he needed to take Mamo out. However, he doesn't use it for some reason, and we still end up trading after an Ice Shard. Kyurem Black is his last chance and solos Mega Dugong. It's still not fast enough for Redux Dugong though, and falls to a Dragon Jab. The Dragon Master goes down. 4 down, 1 more to go. Steven Stone is not really a tough champion in all honesty, but this time it's a little different as Steel has the advantage over us. With both of the cover legendaries of Gen 8, a Heatran and Mega Metagross, we'll need to make very smart plays. Luckily, the beginning is absolutely free. Leading with Iron Bundle, we can protect to stop its Violent Rush ability from killing us, then take it out with a 4x super effective Hidden Power Fire. Zamazenta is next and is a Pokemon that dares you to hit it. With Stamina, each hit powers up its defense more and more, so we set up with Agility, doubling our speed and attack power, allowing Iron Bundle to blow up the Zamazenta. The other legendary wolf, Zacian, comes out next and is also able to be one-shot by a single hidden power. Iron Bundle just destroyed half of the champion's team in no time. Finally, Mewtwo is sent out as its pressure ability erases our agility. Even so, Surf still has a 1 in 16 chance to not take it out. Unfortunately, we get super unlucky as Bundle finally goes down. The Hail Chip makes it a trade, bringing the bird's kill count to 4. There's not much Steven can do after this. Articuno and Redux Dugong take out Heatran with ease. We send out Frostlass, and with Destiny Bond, this fight is over. We have become champions of Elite Redux and in dominating fashion. No question, out of the 3 monotype runs we've done so far, this team was the greatest by a wide margin. With only 5 losses in the entire run, there really wasn't much that could get in our way. Definitely one of my favorite teams I've ever made. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like for more. The next monotype run is Bug, so subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.